This is the table worker tutorial for Turtle Guard tournaments. Every table worker will be responsible for the following tasks at their mat. 1. Making sure every match is recorded. 2. Selecting the next match assigned to your mat on Smooth Comp. 3. Running the scoreboard and timer during each match. 4. Handing out medals cards to winners of each division. 5. And clocking fastest submission of the day winners. So let's begin. First, every match must be recorded from start to finish. Every mat has a basic Android cell phone with a mini tripod at their table. Make sure to start video recording before the competitors shake hands, and you can stop the video once a hand has been raised and the match is over. Videos can be used to review matches if a challenge is made, and to review fast submissions to see if it could be a fastest submission of the day. In regards to fastest submission of the day, it is very simple. For kids 17 and under, if a kid finishes a submission in 12 seconds or less, that kid automatically wins a fastest submission of the day award. So give that kid a hammer card as they step off the mat, which they can redeem at the shirt booth for their award. Kids are allowed to win more than one fastest submission of the day award. Adults can win a fastest submission of the day award for any submission finish of 25 seconds or less. Now on to Smooth Comp. Smooth Comp is the online program that we will be using to run the tournament. There will be 3 Smooth Comp sections that you will navigate throughout the day. The match list page, bracket pages, and the scoreboard. Smooth Comp puts all the matches assigned to your mat in a specific order. You will see this order on the match list page. Always select the next match from the top. Because Smooth Comp assigns a time to each match, competitors will be able to know when they're competing and when to show up to your mat. So to get things going, you will select the first match by clicking on it. A drop-down will appear, giving you access to the 2 other pages, the scoreboard for this particular match, and the bracket that these 2 competitors are fighting in. Select Scoreboard. Your scoreboard will appear. This will help signal the competitors to step up to the mat. You and your referee will bring the competitors onto the mat, assigning them to a side. Put a red strap on the competitor assigned to red, and a blue one on the competitor assigned to blue. As the referee brings the competitors to the center of the mat, get your camera ready and start recording. Before you set your camera facing the competitors, take your camera and record your scoreboard screen for at least 3 seconds. That way, at the beginning of every single video, I will be able to see the names of exactly who's fighting. This makes my life so much easier when viewing matches later on. You can move your mouse cursor over the timer, and it will bring up the timer controls. When the referee starts the match, hit play. You can pause the timer by simply clicking on the time or clicking on the pause button itself. When the referee issues points to a competitor, you will put points on the board by clicking on the competitor's name and adding the correct amount. You are able to add and subtract points when needed. If a submission takes place and the referee stops the match before the round ends, you must immediately stop the timer. Smooth Comp keeps a record of all submission victories and the finish time. So let's try to keep this as accurate as possible. Every time a submission takes place, make sure to assess whether it might be eligible for a fastest submission of the day award. For times that are close calls, you can refer to your video for more accuracy. A stopwatch will be provided to each mat in case you need to review a submission and want a more accurate time. If the round ends and a submission does not take place during the match, then the competitor with the highest score wins. If there is a tie score on the board, then the competitor who scored last wins the match. If a submission does not take place and the score ended in 0-0, then the match will go into a 90-second overtime. To switch to overtime, click anywhere on the bottom bar and select Go to Golden Score. The Golden Score round is another name for overtime. In overtime, the first person to score wins automatically. If the 90-second overtime ends without a score or submission, then the referee will issue the victory to who they believe did more. Once a winner has been decided, click on the bottom bar, select End Game, and pick which person won. Do not click on the loser. If a person wins by submission in regulation or overtime, select submission. If a person wins by points, select points. If a person wins by ref's decision, select decision. If a person gets disqualified in the match, or a competitor wins by default due to no show, select disqualification. After you've picked one, click on Save. You will then have the choice to go to bracket or fight order, Fight order will take you back to a different match list page. I'd rather you not use this particular match list page, so instead, after every match, go to bracket. You will not select your next match from the bracket page, but you will be able to see how far along this particular bracket is. This is helpful if you want to see how close a bracket is to being finished, whether a specific competitor has any matches left, and whether a match that just took place was for third place. Finding out third place is very important. SmoothComp will alert you when a match is a championship match, which means it's for gold and silver, but it does not let you know when a person has won bronze. To find that out, if the match that just took place was the final match of the loser's bracket, which is on the bottom all the way to the right, then the loser of that match got bronze. The winner will go on to fight for gold or silver. Anytime a person wins gold, silver, or bronze in their division, give them a medals card, which they can redeem at the shirt booth for their medal. Catching who gets gold and silver will be easy due to SmoothComp alerting you of the final match. But unless you check the bracket consistently, you will miss who gets bronze, and they may go home without a medal. When you're done looking at the bracket page, click on Matches towards the top to take you back to your match list page. You may have to filter back to your mat color on the left. You are now ready to select the next match in line and repeat the process again. Throughout the day, if you go to your next match and one of the competitors has not shown up, we have a very specific protocol for that. We are no longer going to be calling competitors' names over the PA system. Instead, if a competitor is not on deck ready to go, then bring up the scoreboard and start the round timer. They have exactly that amount of time to show up for their match. If they do not, then that competitor is considered a no-show, and their opponent gets the win by disqualification, and you simply continue on. If they do show up, simply reset the timer and get the match going. If a competitor doesn't show up, but a coach or family member shows up stating that they're in the bathroom or doing another match on a different mat, then you can wait for them. But tell the person to let them know to come right to your mat once they're done. SmoothComp lets every competitor know what mat they're assigned to and what time to be at their mat. It is the responsibility of every competitor or parent of competitor to follow this. If they do not, and they do not show up to their mat on time, it can result in disqualifications. That concludes the table worker tutorial. To sum up, make sure that every match is recorded, that medals cards and fastest submission of the day cards are given out, and that the correct winners are selected at the end of every match. As long as you do that, we will get through the tournament quickly and efficiently. If a problem ever arises, do not panic and simply call Adam, John, or Roger over for help, and we can assist you. Thank you for watching.